So morning all, yet another test ride, and this one's going out to Johnny, knocking out these videos this week. And as always, every customer that buys a bike from us gets a ride test out on another one of these, Titan. And we've already done the first part of the ride mileage on this one, so up to me, bang some more mileage on it for the customer who is collecting today. So it's my final lot of ride mileage this morning. This bike rode absolutely perfect the first time round, and I don't expect it to do any different today. If you happen to catch up with the last couple of ride tests that we've done, I'm about 5 videos behind at the moment, due to the fact that I'm working off a silly little 14-inch laptop at the moment, because my big machine is in for repair, and it's obviously not got the best graphics card in the world. So videos are a little bit late uploading. It's taken me about 2.5 hours to render and edit every video, but will normally take me about 20 minutes on my normal machine, due to the fact that I've got a really good graphics card in it. But we're plodding through these ride tests as quick as we can. So getting up the final bit of road mileage on this one. And as always, if you're up to watching these ones, obviously we're going to get the others up first. We had a Titan out yesterday trying to get the damn thing to fail. It would not fail. I don't know where this lorry driver's going. Is he going to turn? Is he going to sit there with his hazards on? I think we're going to go for it. Okay. Yeah, he's delivering stuff for the new path. And obviously this is my normal road test route back. The road is absolutely blocked up at the moment. No entry, and I'm having to go the long way round on every ride test. So we've diverted to ride test 1.5. So obviously the guys in the garage know where I am if I do get into difficulty. But as always, these little Titans run absolutely perfectly. Now, Lexmoto have announced bikes are now coming into the country. We've got some ZSBs coming finally. We've got some Iskas coming, we've got some Assaults coming, we've got loads of Titans coming. And they're all Euro 5 bikes. So obviously the price has gone up a little bit, as you would expect with a new Euro 5 bike, but they're still good for the money. Very, very good price for the money, and they do exactly what I bang on about each time. It does what it says on the tin. Now, I'm going to go, and I'm going to mention this once only. I mentioned it on yesterday's video. LXR. There is a new LXR coming, and that is all I am going to say on that, because obviously we are sworn to secrecy. The unveil is the 22nd, so next Monday. Today is Tuesday, but obviously next Monday the unveil happens at 10 o'clock. Now obviously I know what they are. I've seen them, I've seen the pictures, and you are going to be very, very impressed. And obviously a lot of people have been on my Instagram, people commenting on the Facebook page, people asking questions on my YouTube. Sorry guys, I am not saying a word. Sworn to secrecy by Lexmoto, and obviously dealers that do let any secrets out will lose their dealership. They have been told that already, so under threat of losing your dealership, everybody has to stay stum. It's going to be a big unveil, and that is all I'm going to say on that subject. But you're going to be impressed. And obviously there's a lot of new bikes that are coming out onto the market at the moment. Not just in the Lexmoto brand, but in other brands. But I tend to obviously ride mostly Lexmotos. But these little Titans, if you are looking for an economical scooter and you want something just to run around on, get yourself a Titan. Cheapest one out the box, most effective, and it does what it says on the tin. Obviously there are the other brands in scooters, so you've got Diablo, you've got the Enigma, you've got the Urban, and if you wanted to go a little bit flash and upmarket, that Aura with the keyless ignition on that. Now Aura ride test is on my videos. Scroll back about 6 months ago, and that Aura is a lovely, lovely machine. And a lot of bikes are now going keyless ignition. People think it's a bit faffy, people prefer an old-fashioned key. But keyless ignition, all the big bikes are now having them. Kawasaki's have got them, Hondas have got them, Yamahas have got them. Everybody, even the BMWs, everybody is going keyless ignition. Fob in your pocket, click your ignition on, job done. Obviously with keyless ignition, people have asked the question, yes, but can that be scanned? If someone's got a booster, can they boost it and pinch your bike? I have absolutely no idea. I wouldn't have thought so, but I am not one to comment on the subject because I don't know. But keyless ignition is pretty good because you haven't got to worry about taking your keys out of the bike. Just turn the key bump, job done. But I'd always say put a decent alarm on your bike. And that brings me on to the subject of these, the Lextech alarm. Great little alarm system, plug and play. It's just a 9-pin plug and play, very easy to fit. You can do it yourself or you can get your local dealer to fit it, but a Lextech alarm does the job, and it's also got that remote start function. We fit a lot of the remote alarms onto these Titans and they're very, very easy to fit. It takes us about 40-45 minutes to fit one. But if you're looking at obviously the other bikes, we fitted one on a Michigan, and that had to be a hard wired alarm. It had to actually be soldered into the loom, but it worked great. And obviously Milanos, you can fit one onto a Milano, but once again it has to be hard wired. You can plug and play it, but obviously when we spoke to Lexmoto, they said it's personal preference. You can get loads of different alarms for that bike, but it is down to the customer's individual preference as to what alarm system they want on your bike. So entirely down to them, and then you can find out. But I'd always say get an alarm, or if you can't afford an alarm, and one thing I do prefer is a nice ground anchor and a nice mammoth chain, which is what I've got on my bike at home. Huge great wall anchor on mine, into the wall, couple of raw bolts, and a friend of mine came round and he actually welded up the bolt heads, put some weld on the bolt heads, so you can't get a socket onto that wall anchor. You're not getting that thing off for love or money, not unless you make a lot of noise. And obviously the mammoth chain that I've got on it is heavy duty. And obviously if you've got a scooter, I'd always say secure it by the back end. Never ever put a Dizzlock on or a chain around the front end. Big thing in London at the moment, what they'll do, your bike's parked up, it's got a chain on the front end, or you've got your Dizzlock on the front end, steering lock on, they will pull up normally on a couple of like the Honda PCXs or the Honda Forzas. Steering lock on, passenger on the back on both bikes, they'll pick it up, passenger under each bike, either side, pick it up by the handlebars and drag the thing away. So I'd always say if you've got a bike, secure it by the back end and secure it to a post or something. There's plenty of those little bicycle things that you put your front wheel in. Just back your bike up to it and lock it through that, put your chain through that. And obviously it's a visual deterrent. If someone sees that you've got a chain or a Dizzlock on, they're going to be, okay, let's go for something a little bit easier, that's something that's not got a disc and chain on it. So once again, personal preference. Let us know your comments in the section below on how you secure your bike. So just cranking up this test mileage, and I'm doing a slightly different route today. I'm just going to do sort of around the houses, just have a couple of different routes, save the boringness of it. Which lane are you going in? Thank you very much. One of those newfangled cars, not got an indicator on it. And obviously road awareness is another thing I knock on about. Yes, do look in your mirrors, but I tend to can't stop doing it as well. Shoulder checking, I do tend to shoulder check a lot. Obviously keep an eye on what's behind me, watching it in the mirrors, but then obviously the occasional glance over the shoulder to see what's on the left or right of me. And that is a godsend if you are out riding. Get them shoulder checks in, make sure that when you're turning you're watching your mirrors, quick glance over the shoulder, nothing up the inside of you. Keep them shoulder checks in, and it, you know, It doesn't just go for a 125, it goes on your big bikes as well. But as always, this Titan is riding absolutely lovely. And just a couple of videos that I managed to catch up on last night. And there's some really good material. So if you're still stuck at home, you're still in lockdown, or you're still working from home, or heaven forbid that you've been made redundant or laid off and you've got nothing to do and you're sitting watching the YouTube and you're into your bike videos, go and check out a couple of channels, and I'm going to give you a couple to watch. And I did see a very, very good thing yesterday. There's a new thing going up about YouTube at the moment, and it's hashtag shorts. Videos of 60 seconds or less, set in what they call landscape, so the upright version as you would film if it was on your mobile phone. And a lot of the motovloggers are doing these shorts to obviously try and get some content and people to go across to their channels. Once again, those YouTube vloggers do it for the love of biking. We're not in it to make thousands and thousands, unless you've got like 3.5 million subscribers and you've got a huge following. You're not going to hit a lot of money. And obviously my last YouTube for this month, I did £16 and 19p now. It's gone up a bit, gone up 3 pence. In fact, 5 pence actually. I think 16.14 the last time I looked. It's now £16 and 19, so up about 5p. I'm not fussed. Make a bit of money by the end of the year. It all goes back into the bikes. Most of my money does go back into keeping my own bikes running, keeping them nice and shiny, keeping them taxed, MOT'd and insured. But if you are into obviously following those YouTube vloggers, one that I do love watching is a guy called Salty and his wife Sprinkles. So Salty and Sprinkles on YouTube. Pop across and look at some of his stuff. He's Indian. He has got an amazing piece of machinery, the Indian Challenger, and it is a bit of kit, I tell you. I was watching the fast video yesterday. There's a quick 60-second short of Salty out on his Indian Challenger with Sprinkles riding with him, and I tell you what, their bikes, I do like my sports bikes, but those big American cruisers, and I'm really starting to turn to the dark side now, which is RB. I don't normally like my cruisers. I'm not a lover of cruisers, I'm not a lover of scooters. I like my sports bikes too much, hence why I've opted to go for the ZZR. But after riding that Harley Sportster, and obviously that was sent off to have the map sorted out, because it was not running as good as I thought it would when I took it out for a run. There was an issue with the remapping, so it's gone back for remap on the ECU. Sounds good. Squeaky brakes off the lorry. Now obviously going back to this Harley, I took it out and gave it a run, and I was amazed how comfortable it was, how nice it sounded, hellishly loud, but what a bike. And a lot of the vloggers said to me, you're going to the dark side. No, I'm not. No, I like my sports bikes. And then obviously after riding a couple of other bikes this week, I am really starting to enjoy watching those big American cruising bikes, the Harleys, the Indians. And sat and watched Diesel's Hogs vlog, changing the indicators on his bike to LED. That's another good channel, Diesel's Hogs vlogs. He does some really good cooking as well. We had to go making meatloaf that he suggested. So he not only does bikes, but obviously he's a chef, had his own company, and he does some really good hot and spicy ideas, things like pulled pork burger with loads of coleslaw on it. Love that one as well, so go and check him out. But he's got a really old Harley, and that is a lovely looking retro bike. I do like my retro bikes, and his Harley is just absolutely beautiful. And then obviously military biker, another Harley rider, sets of pendants, hellbelly, Bikes, Baggers and Brews, Wibbly Wobbly, Harley Rider, all of those guys all ride Harleys, and I am getting really, really swayed now to the Harley brand. So don't want to be swayed, but I am getting really, really swayed. I am starting to enjoy looking at those big grunty bikes. It might be just down to the fact that I'm getting old and obviously want something a little bit more comfortable. But obviously I won't give up the ZZR. And I definitely won't give up the Ninja. Everyone loves that Ninja. Everyone says that is just so you. But I am starting to enjoy watching a lot of Harley videos, and especially Military Biker when he's done some of his long rides out. He's got some really nice material. If you happen to like to be into the countryside, he's got some really nice runs down those American roads, so go and have a look at some of those channels. But as always, all those guys are at the bottom of every YouTube video, so go and obviously jump in some of those videos. Add a Moto as well, another English biker, he's another good one to watch. And then of course my mate Zedhead, Jim Diesel, but they're all down the bottom on the feed, so I think there's about 60 in there at the moment, all the big ones, and of course all those small independent bike vloggers. But check all those guys out, they all do their content for the love of it, and they have an absolute blast at what they do, which is the best thing about being out on a motorcycle. Two wheels, the freedom, the air, just having the wind in your face, and that's what we ride for. It's just the oneness, being there with yourself. You can just get yourself out and calm yourself down, and I tend to do that a lot actually. If I'm having a really, really bad day, is say to the missus, look, I just need to get out on the bike, I need to go and have a run, which is what I did on Sunday. Didn't get any video of it because it was literally get the bike out, I gave it a jet wash, gave it a coat of ACF 50, cleaned all up the little rust dots that are coming on it, because it's obviously been sat outside for 7 weeks, but the rust came off really easy. Bit of ACF 50 on it, and got the bike started, and I had a run down to the garage just to put some fuel in her, which is only about sort of 3/4 of a mile. But then obviously coming back to home, I did have a little bit of fun, and I opened her up a little bit and just pushed the limits, and it was just so good to be back over that tank on that Ninja, just wind in your face, crouched over the tank, giving it literally hell for leather, and obviously blasting the hell out of it. And for the 10 minutes that I was out, I'd come back, beaming smile on the face. Wife went, "I can tell you've had a good ride." And I went, "Yeah, it was fun, it was fun." I can always tell when you've had a good day on the bikes because you come home smiling. Yes, I do. If you'd have seen the smile I had on my face after riding that Harley, and that's what it's all about. It's the enjoyment factor, and you can't bottle it, you can't sort of describe how it feels until you've actually done it. And you ask any biker about what they like, and they will tell you it's the freedom, it's the open road. It can't be described, it can't be bottled, paid for, or put on video until you actually experience it yourself. And that is what we ride for. So, mileage on the bike, heading back to the garage. Another full-on day today. I've got another 5 ride tests to do today, so that's going to back up the videos even more. But obviously, this one's all good. This is Johnny's bike. All good, Johnny. And does what it says on the tin. Now, obviously, he's gone for a top box on this, so he's got loads of room. 32 litre top box on the rear of this. Perfect little Titan, as always. So I'm going to head back, cup of coffee, and get the bikes out, and then have a cigarette, and crack on with the day. So whatever you're doing, if you are out riding, guys, have a good one. Don't forget, keep an eye out for that LXR post. That's going to be up on my Facebook, my YouTube, my Instagram, my Twitter. I'm going to blog the hell out of that when it comes out, but you're going to have to wait until the 22nd. And obviously as soon as we get new bikes in, we shall do something about them. And for all of you that are asking about the electric bike before we finish, I am on the electric bike tomorrow. I'm going to take one of the scooters out. I don't know which one yet, but keep an eye out for that video. It's going to be a full walk around, up close and personal. We'll get a nice long video in on this and just show you what it does, how to do the batteries on it the proper way. And I have seen other videos of that scooter, but no one does it the RB way. So until the next time, guys, riding is tight and back to the garage. From RB, signing out, and as always, if you remember the motto, it's a big goodbye from me.